everyone, I'm Dan Philgreen, and this is Shell Point Today for Tuesday, September 23rd. On today's show, resident Herb Sklar talks about the original selfies, self-portraits, and his academy class, Painting a Self-Portrait, that begins tomorrow. And Anna Smith of Finemark Bank is back to tell us about the excitement planned for Wednesday's Finemark Bank 5th anniversary celebration. But first, the literary classic Walden, or Life in the Woods, by Henry David Thoreau, will be the topic of this month's Library Book Talk. Hosted by Harriet Furton Reese, this book review will take place today at 2:15 in the Social Center on the island. A discussion of the book and refreshments will follow the review. By now, you've probably heard about and maybe even used the new Easy Access Patient Portal. It's a great new way to access your medical records electronically here at Shell Point. We hope it's been smooth sailing, but if you do have any questions, you'll want to attend today's presentation, Patient Portal Easy Access, which runs from 1 to 2:30 in the Grand Cypress Room on the island. Nurse practitioner Dr. Carol Clark and informatics specialist Tara Hazard will give you the needed information to easily navigate the new portal. As the year winds down, many of our new residents are working to find out what tax deductions they can take advantage of because they live here at Shell Point. Well, tomorrow, Timothy Stevenson, Executive Director of the Legacy Foundation at Shell Point, and Michelle Hoover, CPA with Alexander & Hoover, CPAs, will present tax facts filled with tax information that you need to know about. This presentation will cover everything from the Legacy Foundation bill to IRA fees. Timothy and Michelle will be in the Grand Cypress Room on the island tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. Sign-ups are required. This is something you won't want to miss if you move to Shell Point this year. And keeping track of all your tax paperwork can be tricky. A great way to stay organized and not lose track of your important documents is to put everything on your computer. And learning how to do that properly, well, it can leave you a little bit stressed. Well, today and next Tuesday, Al Kaplan of Oakmont will be giving you the tools you need to stay organized and find that file. Where did that file go? A Level 1 course is being offered today and next Tuesday at the Computer Teaching Center on the island from 1:15 to 3 o'clock. Sign-ups are required, and the class is just $8. And another great iPad class from the Academy gets underway today. iWorks, creating spreadsheets using the Numbers app, will give you the information that you need to create spreadsheets using the Numbers app from Apple. After 2 classes, you'll be able to walk away being able to create the perfect spreadsheet on your iPad. That class begins today and runs from 10:15 until 11:45 today and next Tuesday. Penny Modrich of Nautilus will instruct the class, taking place in the Manatee Room on the island. The class is $10 and sign-ups are required. For more information or to sign up for any of the activities we've talked about, stop by the Island Service Desk in the Resident Activity Center on the island or call 454-2282 or the Woodland Service Desk at 454-2054. For many of you, painting is a relaxing and enjoyable way to spend a day. The peacefulness helps you to achieve the emotional dimension you're looking for in your life quest. And starting tomorrow, Master Painter Herb Sklar of Eagles Preserve will be instructing an academy class on painting a self-portrait. Here with a preview is Terry Koleth and the master himself, Herb Sklar.
Hello everyone, I'm here with Herb Sklar of Eagles Preserve. We're talking about yet another new class from Herb. This one is Painting a Self-Portrait. Thank you for joining me.
Hi,
Herb.
more than welcome.
Now, a self-portrait is a very different thing to paint than most things, right?
Well, it's really a journey into oneself, right. and you learn a lot about yourself. And so this class is going to be a little different, and it's going to follow a little different format. We're going to start off with a coffee at my house, where we're going to talk about what it's like to do a self-portrait, how you should present yourself, what are you going to wear for the photo session, which, by the way, will be at the new photo studio, and I will take everybody's picture so they can paint from it. And I will reveal my secrets for how to get a great sketch that's accurate on the canvas. That's so important in portrait painting, self-portrait or just plain portrait painting. You have to start off with a very accurate sketch, because if you're off a little here, your eyes look different. If you're off a little there, your mouth, and it doesn't quite look like it. So all this is very important. But I think the real heart of this class is the discovery of what you're going to learn. And the class after the coffee at my house, it goes to the photo studio, and so everybody will be prepared based on our discussion what they're going to wear, how they're going to present themselves. I take their pictures, and there's a week lapse where I process all this, and I can give it to them. Then we start painting, and we continue painting. Though the class officially ends, I think, right before Thanksgiving, it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there, because in January, I'm going to be giving a lecture on why famous artists like Rembrandt did 20 self-portraits or more, and a lot of famous artists did that. And so at that lecture, all the students will be there with their pictures, with their paintings, and one by one they'll show them, and they'll talk about their experience about doing a self-portrait. So you're going to see all your neighbors with their self-portraits and hear about that experience, and I hope it'll be wonderful. I'm sure it will be.
I'm sure it will be too. Now, one of the things I really appreciate about your coming up with new classes is not only do you extend yourself, a professional artist, but you also help our current artists have opportunities to extend themselves. You know, to make your own sketch, to paint your own self-portrait is going to take a painter, and another wonderful opportunity. Well,
it takes a little more thought than just doing a scenery or something. For instance, this painting, I try to make, I was a lot younger there, wore glasses and a mustache, but besides that, this really tells a story. It's an artist sitting at a canvas. The canvas is empty. And that's always the hardest part for most artists, is to make that first stroke on that canvas. So this was trying to show what that anxiety was about, you know, self-portrait artist, blank canvas.
Interesting. So much about creativity, period. The writer's hardest thing is that first sentence.
I once had an instructor who said, do you know when you make your first mistake when you're painting? And the class said no. And I said, you make your first mistake when you make your first stroke. And then you spend the rest of the time correcting. So every stroke, and it's so true, because when you start painting and all of a sudden you change something, you say, oh, that's right, but now this is wrong. And so you spend the rest of that time. So this is going to be just a wonderful exploration, this whole class.
It really is nice to have a chance to explore. The self has to be kind of like the last frontier, right?
Well, yeah, it is. The first painting, self-portrait painting I did really wasn't me. It was my wife and I. We had just retired, and I was standing behind her with a palette, and she was sitting at a ceramic table. So she started to take up ceramics, and I started painting. And the name of the painting is The Painter and the Ceramicist, and that's was the first one I did, and that told a story. And if you look at it carefully, it even tells more of a story, because you can see a little of the Florida fauna and background, so you know that that's where it started, you know.
Well, if you are interested in extending your abilities as a painter, there's still time to sign up for Painting a Self-Portrait with Herb Sklar, and it's going to be on 9 Wednesdays.
Sounds like a terrific class, Terry. Another terrific event taking place tomorrow here at Shell Point is Finemark Bank's 5th anniversary celebration. Managing Executive Anna Smith and many other Finemark folks will be on hand to celebrate 5 years of being here at Shell Point. With more now on what you can expect, here's Anna Smith.
Hello, I'm Anna Smith, Managing Executive with Finemark on the island. I am excited to announce Finemark is celebrating its 5th year on the island. We have enjoyed every minute of being here, and now we want to say thank you. Everyone is invited to join us for our anniversary celebration on Wednesday, September 24th from 8 to 9:30 in the morning. We will have a tent set up in the bank courtyard on the island with some light refreshments and wonderful conversation. We have a number of special guests attending the event. Susan Chacon, the original managing executive of Finemark on the island, is flying in from Arizona to be with us. And Tiffany Williams, our most recent managing executive before I arrived, will also be on hand for the celebration. Our president and CEO, Joe Caddy, will be here as well to say a few words to our guest. We are grateful for the relationships we have with so many Shell Point residents. We hope you join in the celebration with us. Again, it's Wednesday, September 24th from 8 to 9:30 a.m. in the bank courtyard on the island. You do not need to RSVP. Everyone is welcome, and we hope to see you all there. If you have any questions, please stop by Finemark, or you can always give us a call at 461-5999.
Now it's time to cover all of today's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Hi, today is Tuesday, September 23rd. I'm Jill Aldrink, and I'm here with Bev Chanley to let you know what's happening today. We start the morning at 7:15 with the Health Connections Bend, Breathe, and Balance in the Health Club. At 8 o'clock, you have options. Pickleball will be played at the pickleball court. Round Robins Doubles Tennis will be played in the Woodlands Tennis Courts. And we move on to 8:15 with the Stamp Ministry meeting downstairs in the stamp room. 8:30, the Ladies Golf Association will be meeting at the golf club. And at 9:15, open painting takes place in the art studio. Also at 9:15, you can play shuffleboard out at the shuffleboard court. At 9:30, match play mixed doubles tennis will be played. At 10:15, we leave for a trip to Brew Baby's Bistro for lunch. Court pickups begin 10:15 on the island, 10:25 in the Woodlands, and 10:35 at Eagles Preserve. Also at 10:15, we have the Health Connections Fall Prevention and Medication, a special presentation that will be in the Social Center. Also at 10:15, Through the Bible Study Group meets in the Osprey Room. And we finish off our morning at 11:45 with the Health Connections Living Healthy in the Osprey Room, so come on out for that. Bev, what do we have for this afternoon?
Well, Jill, we're going to start at 12:30 today with Mixed Progressive Bridge. That'll be in the game room down at the Woodlands. Also, we have at 1:15 the Knitters Group in the Osprey Room. 1:15 the Rollicking Recordists will be in the Tarpon Room. And then our last 1:15 activity, the Women's Ministries Prayer Group, they'll be meeting at 408 Royal Bonnet. At 1:30 we have a Health Connections class, Aqua Pilates Stretch. That's in the LifeQuest Aquatic Center. At 1:30 the Stamp Ministry will be at the Sable Room at the Woodlands. At 2:15 the Library Book Talk will be in the Social Center. We have a Health Connections class at 2:45, Balance and Mobility Training Level 2, and that's in the Health Club. Currently that's full. Well, that winds up our Tuesday. We will see you back here again and tell you what's going on Wednesday.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Tuesday. At 9 o'clock, our digital camera prep school continues in the Sable Room of the Woodlands. At 9:15, improving your computer skills continues in the Computer Teaching Center on the island. And at 10 o'clock, we have the Race for Colonial Malaya in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands. You can sign up right at the door. At 10:15, iWorks, using numbers, will begin in the Manatee Room on the island, and you can sign up at either service desk. At 1 o'clock, our Patient Portal Easy Access class will begin in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands for those who have signed up. And at 1:15, Where Did That File Go?, will take place in the Computer Teaching Center on the island. Sign up is required. We have 2 new classes for you tomorrow. Painting a self-portrait with Herb Sklar of Eagles Preserve, and our first legacy seminar of the fall session, Tax Facts, with Michelle Hoover, CPA of Alexander and Hoover CPAs, along with our own Timothy Stevenson, Executive Director of our Legacy Foundation here at Shell Point. It's Tuesday, so I'd like to take a moment to thank the volunteers of the Pavilion Auxiliary. Please take a look at the auxiliary box on the last page of the weekly reminder to see how you can join with the auxiliary to serve your friends and neighbors in the Larson Pavilion.
Menus for Tuesday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is pot roast with root vegetables and red potatoes. The dinner special is build your own stir fry for $13.95, and the soup of the day is vegetarian vegetable. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a taco salad with fresh fruit for $7.25. The dinner special is fried catfish with fries, hush puppies, and coleslaw for $8.25. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm David Pavey, an assistant pastor. Some years ago, Adlai Stevenson Jr. was running for governor of Illinois. His critics considered him a weak candidate and lashed out at him, calling him a wimp. "I'm not a wimp," exclaimed Stevenson defiantly. "I'm not a wimp." A wimp, of course, is a weak and cowardly person, someone who is unadventurous, a chicken if you like. "I'm not a wimp," he asserted. Just imagine the fun that the media had with that line. Now, you may not be a wimp either, but if you're like me, you're still no tower of strength. Physically, like the old gray mare, we ain't what we used to be. Morally, we're still in a battle, and spiritually, it would be a stretch to call us holy. We start life squeaky clean, of course, and in our youth and early adulthood, we feel we can take on the world. No challenge is too big. We learn about grace, but it doesn't mean much. Then typically, at some point in life, God permits us to fall flat on our face, and we're broken. Like Jacob, we come to the end of ourselves. In our utter weakness, we cling to God, who gives strength to his people. Like Jacob, we walk with a limp now, so to speak. But we gain a whole new understanding of grace. Once again, we become useful because God's power is made perfect in our weakness. News anchorman Dan Rather of CBS once reported the story of a champion racehorse that injured a leg and was destined to be put down. The doting owner, however, called in a team of veterinarians who amputated the leg and fitted a prosthetic limb. Observed the owner, "This horse knew how to run. Now it has learned how to walk." And that's how it is with some of us. What does it say on your medicine bottle? Shake well before using. Sometimes that's what God has to do with us. The former pastor of Moody Church in Chicago, Alan Redpath, said, "When God wants to do an impossible task, he takes an impossible man and crushes him." Iris Gaines has a memorable line in the movie The Natural. "You know, I believe we have two lives," she said, "the life we learn with and the life we live after that." There's a story about a sparrow and a robin that sat on a branch. The robin showed off his beautiful wings, observing, "Too bad your wing is scarred." "Yes," said the sparrow. "I once flew into a lamppost and damaged it." "Too bad," said the robin, "so I bet I can fly higher than you can." "You probably can," responded the sparrow, "but you probably don't appreciate being able to fly as much as I do." Charles Wesley addressed the same issue when he wrote that God breaks and heals attentive hearts, just as the biblical potter demolished and reformed the clay pot. Wrote Jeremiah the prophet, "So I went down to the potter's house, and I saw him working at the wheel. But the pot he was shaping from the clay was marred in his hands. So the potter formed it into another pot, shaping it as it seemed best to him." And that's it. The all-powerful God breaks and heals us. We learn to walk again, clinging to him. "The Lord gives strength to his people," wrote the psalmist. And when God's strength overcomes our weakness, let me tell you, we're no wimps. And thank you for tuning in to Village Church Connections.
We're glad you joined us for today's show. Tune in tomorrow as we congratulate the graduates of our ESL program. And we get a look at some fantastic photos on display at the Employee Photo Show in the Resident Activity Center. Until then, this is Shell Point Today for Tuesday, September 23rd. I'm Dan Philgreen, and from all of us here at Shell Point TV, we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you again tomorrow.